Hello everybody! Welcome to Agashi Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you synopsis, shorts review along with my thoughts and opinions, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. Hello everybody, Agashi here today. So today I'm going to be doing a Chinese drama review on the drama called Unique Lady, and this is season 2. Apparently there's season 1 of this, and season 1 ended where it kind of left us, it's not a cliffhanger or hanging, but it left us not really an open ending, but with questions of like, oh, so that was it? What happened? You know, what about the modern times? So this season 2 is actually a total of 27 episodes, and I was able to get to watch the first 3 episodes of it, and I had to kind of go back and watch season 1 to kind of understand, like, just to recap again for me, because when I watched this, when it first came out, it did not have English subtitles, so I kind of watched and understood what I can, but it apparently, like, after it came out for like a year, it got really popular, and so everybody started getting like subtitle and everything, and so I actually just went back to be able to recap myself a little bit to understand and to get what's going to be happening in season 2. But I'm going to be going over the cast, synopsis, and the first 3 episodes with you guys. So as for our cast, we have Jay Chang as Lin Luo Jing, Simon Gong as Zhong Wu Mei, Alan Fang as Lu Xiuwing, and then Yu Kai Ning as Jin Xuan Yu, and then Chris Zhu as Hua Yingqing, and Cici Lu as Hua Yingyu. As for our synopsis, Luo Jingqing enters a game system, a gaming, due to this competition she was going through, and she travels into the Xinyu dynasty of the game that was set up, and so to be able to return back, she has to find her true love and maximize all the points of the game, and in doing so she meets 4 wonderful handsome men who she has to find true love within them, but she gets intertwined with this arrogant prince and all these things like that into a love-hate relationship, and you know, things starts to sparks up and things start to change and everything is different now, and so she kind of like, okay, how am I supposed to finish this in order to go back home? And so that's the synopsis of this season, which is pretty similar to season 1. And a little bit of recap on the season 1. In season 1, she was actually, it just showed us she accidentally gets drawn into the game, and she becomes the prime minister's daughter, and she meets these 4 men, and they all have different personalities and all stuff like that, and she figures out that she has to fall in love with one of these, or one of these guys, men's, are her true love, and then in doing so she gets entangled with in this love-hate relationship with the prince, which is Zhong Wu Mei, and a lot of things happen leads to her losing her title of the prime minister's daughter, or as known as his princess, and she becomes a female doctor, and at the, you know, things screws up in season 1, and she, like, you know, she can't go back home, and so she leaves the main guy, but then he's so in love with her that he wants her back, so they get back together at the end of season 1. Now we jump into the drama, which I'm going to recap the first 3 episodes with you guys. It actually does show us that she didn't finish the game and she was still in there, and so then you know, she was still in the game, and she now has to live in the game as if it's her daily life. And so the drama starts us off with we seeing her and Wu Mei, you know, like they're flying and like to this field of flowers, and he gives her a small pair of shoes, which is kind of like baby shoes, and tell her that he will make all her dreams come true. And it shows us the other 3 guys that, you know, they said they will protect her. So the whole cast is still the same people, and so they're like, you know, I will protect you, you know, I will be here for you, I will keep you safe. And then we see, and all of a sudden the scene changes, and we see her and Wu Mei running out of the palace gates, and there's a fire going on, and an arrow hits him, and then it looks like he died, and then she's falling from the sky, and then her maid is waking her up, and she wakes up, and it was just a dream, and she was just kind of like, what's going on? And then Wu Mei is sitting next to her, and he worries about her health condition as he's been on a mission, or like on this war for his brother, who is the current emperor now, and he has to leave behind Luo Jing. And then Luo Jing gives us a recap what actually happens in season 1, or like previously, of why she's at where she's at. And she's a like electronic whatever system technology student, and she participated in a competition and entering this game and to become the hero of the game. And she ends up meeting these 4 guys who are very special to her and did very special things to her, and they are willing to die for her, give her gifts, and do anything for her. And towards like the middle of the game, which was the middle of season 1, her true love died, but she uses her last life to play the game again to keep him alive. But instead of that, another person died for her, which is she calls him Hua Hua, and he dies for her. Therefore now she's stuck in the game, and she has to, you know, get married to her true love, continue getting married to her true love, and you know, all these things like that. But things didn't go well for her in terms of the game when her father decides to betray the country, making her lose her title as the princess to Wu Mei, and she decides to go on a run where she becomes a female doctor, and you know, she ends up getting her loved one back, and now she has to continue living normal as if this is her normal life, but she still has the conscious that she's in a game, and she still has like the memories and abilities and stuff like that like it's modern time, so she's actually stuck in the game. And so with her giving us that short recap, you know, we go back to the actual story now where Wu Mei is back and he's visiting her, and Luo Jing, she's actually sick, and she's been like just, you know, hanging in there trying to just wait for him and everything. And apparently he has another consort, which is Wei Ru Yu, and she constantly like treats Luo Jing really bad. And now that he's back, like everybody's like, oh, frustrated that he's back, because in his eyes Luo Jing is like the apple of his eye, everything to his heart. He loves her, and there's nothing she can do wrong, you know. So moving on, you know, she heads to the market to buy a chicken to make soup or something like that, and she ends up getting stopped by some men who was about to attack her. And all of a sudden a man in a like white outfit came and saved her, and she goes, are you Hua Hua? And so he's like, no, I'm not, you know, I was just passing by. So apparently in season 1 when he dies, she didn't know that he died for her, and so it just showed that he died, and like as if the drama was going to end. But then he woke up towards the end and, you know, pretty much be like, I gotta protect her. So with her thinking that he died, you know, for her, you know, she was just kind of like, oh, what's the point, you know, but he's actually alive. But then she goes to the market and she bumps into these people, which they call themselves Little Britain, and they're here to they're guests entering the palace, and she helps them solve a problem, which, you know, she uses like math equations that we know of, you know, to solve it. And this brings the Little Britain people to like her. So when she gets invited to the banquet at the palace with Wu Mei, like these Little Britain people, they were like, oh, you know, she's so smart, she helped them, they like her. And so this makes her look really good, you know. But like obviously nobody likes it, because they were like, well, her father is a betrayal to our country, so we kind of don't like her. We kind of like, she's like low to us now. She's not a princess, or she's not Wu Mei's like consort or whatever like that. But the banquet doesn't go really well. It doesn't go well when one of the servant got sick, and then the doctor determined that she has a disease. The Little Britain people was like, oh, you invited us here and you guys got us all infected among this disease. So the emperors are like, he made a promise that whoever solves this case, he will reward them with whatever. Wu Mei thinks that this is the way to restore Luo Jing's status and make her his official consort or princess. He volunteers her to solve the case, and because she's an excellent doctor. After she gave up being her title, the princess, she becomes a doctor. So she goes and does her research around town, and she does solve the problem, and the emperor does grant her a wish of what she wants, but she hasn't said anything, and Wu Mei said that to restore her status to become his consort and the princess. And the emperor doesn't fully agree with what Wu Mei want, because he doesn't want Wu Mei to marry her. He wants Wu Mei to marry or be with his other consort, which supposed to be his official consort, which is Wen Ru Yu, and so he doesn't do that, and he ends up rejecting the emperor, and he ends up taking Lu Jin, and they move to Nanyang for a while, where all these journeys starts, and she meets the other guys again, and they start to come and play again. But that's like the recap of the first 3 episodes for us. So it's basically just a very short introduction of literally recapping of what season 1 is, to introduce into what they're going to journey through. But I did look into, like, I think it was trailers or something like that. I was seeing some pictures. So I think she does complete the game, and then she does wake up, or in reality, in current modern time, and the creator of the game is Wu Mei, from the looks of it. So he obviously, in every Chinese drama, they exist in modern time too, so he does exist in the modern time, and I think he's the guy who created this game, and she's probably been in it, and because she was sucked into it or playing in it or whatever like that, she's maximized this, all of it, what's the point of the game. So but that's it for this review. If you guys have not seen this drama, do check it out, and if you guys want to see, go watch season 1 and watch season 2, as it will probably give you a better, broader explanation of everything in season 2. But that's it for today. I will see you guys next time.